Welcome to A Safe Place with Ellen. Hey guys, we've been talking about domestic violence and the types of domestic violence, strangulation, teen violence, teen dating violence. We've talked about, how we get there. And so today, what I would like to do is maybe lighten it up a little bit and talk about surviving and how we do in developing new relationships. One of the scariest things has to be, we're coming out of this of violence, literally, and meeting someone new. What does my future hold? How do I do that? So today I would like to talk about some ways and some strategies and some things to think about when we do meet new people and we start developing new relationships, because the baggage from our old relationship, it's going to carry over. It's just the nature of things. And if we can learn about how to link those two and how to survive, we are survivors, and how to survive in this new relationship, because hopefully our new relationship is going to be bigger and better for us as survivors. We want to talk about some suggestions in how to move on from this domestic violence situation, from this abusive situation, to a positive, healthy relationship. And the first thing I would say is know that you're a survivor. Know that you're strong. The stuff that you came from is going to help you build this great future, these wonderful relationships. And that's the first thing we have to know, is how strong we are, that we are survivors, and that we can get through this. We may need help, we may need support, and that's okay, because our goal is to move again from this unhealthy relationship to healthy relationships in any relationship that we go through, because we are going to compare our new relationship unknowingly, unwittingly, to the past. So know that you're a survivor and that you can work through anything. Look what you've already came through. In reconnecting to a natural and a healthy relationship after an abusive relationship, a suggestion is to stay away from the abusive individual. I know that's hard. I know that in the trauma bonding kind of, makes you want to look at their Facebook and see what's happening. And it could even be fear. You want to know where they are. I suggest don't. Stay away from that individual, because if you do happen to see them out on the street or in a restaurant, those past fears are going to come up, and then it's going to bleed over into your healthy relationship. If you happen to do that, recognize that, oh, I saw him or her, and this is what's happening. Because if we don't recognize those feelings, we're going to put that onto the new person that we have in our lives. And, and we're going to carry, as I said before, we're going to carry this baggage with us. So do not reconnect, and, try not to get in touch with or be around that abusive relationship or that abusive person again, because it's going to bring back that fear. You're going to have it anyway, and you're going to work through it, but seeing them is just going to it's part of that PTSD. It's going to put you right back where you were. And I don't mean physically, and it's not going to put you back to step one, but the feelings and the emotions are going to be there. When we're trying to set out on a new path and develop new relationships, one of the most important things we can do is identify our triggers. And we talk about triggers all the time, and you'll hear that as a buzzword. Triggers are situations or things that the new person in your life may do unwittingly that will trigger you back to that abusive time. It can have you experience certain feelings. It's like a flashback, and it's part of that PTSD. You will, in knowing those triggers, it's going to help you understand that, again, this is my past and I'm moving on to the future. You'll learn to deal with those triggers. And if you know that, oh, this is what happened, is, the new person in your life may say a phrase or a comment or make a comment on something you're wearing, and it could be a trigger. So if you know that is a trigger, then how you respond to that is going to be different. You're not going to respond in fear, because fear is an emotion that just kind of keeps going, and it's just going to perpetuate, a possible negative thing in your new relationship. So knowing triggers is definitely going to help you in developing new, positive, healthy relationships. It's going to help you move on, and this individual or this new person that you have in your life, you're not going to put these negative thoughts, feelings, this baggage onto the new person that you have in your life. Seeking support or some individual help, maybe even some counseling or therapy, in understanding the difference between red flags and triggers. We're trying to develop this new relationship. We're trying to reconnect with other people. A red flag would be a behavior or some type of action that a person would do that would kind of set alarm bells off. A trigger is something that happened in your past, something that triggers thoughts, feelings, fear in what you're trying to do in your new relationship. Red flags are, we may remember, let's go back to this. Remember you're going back to when you, I'm going to kind of take you guys back to your abusive relationship for a moment to think about. It started out great. He or she was awesome and it was perfect. And then what happened? Red flags. Little things started coming up, and you don't notice them. You will notice them now. But in that first abusive relationship, you didn't notice the control that he was trying to take. Or, he or she may have been a little abusively, verbally hard, or wouldn't let you go here. Remember those things that we talk about when we're talking about power and control? Red flags. A trigger is when we're developing this new relationship now. We're survivors now, and we're developing a new relationship. So a trigger would be something that happened in your past in that abusive relationship that has come up while you're in this new developing relationship. So the difference being, a trigger is something, again, that happens in the past. Knowing the difference is hard. So seeking support and help by someone to help you, oh, this happened. And, if you get counseling, you go to a therapist, you go to a friend that you can talk to, and you can talk to about these things, and getting some outside advice, there's nothing wrong with that. I suggest that you really do that, because if you think about it, you've got these triggers that are going to pop up, and you don't know where they're coming from, and you don't know, is it a red flag? Is it a trigger? You want someone to help you through that. And it's okay. It doesn't mean that you're slipping back. You are still a survivor, and understand how much that you've came through to become a survivor. Never, ever forget that. Always think to yourself, I'm a survivor. I can do this. Communicating to your new partner is a big one. You don't have to tell your new partner everything about your relationship, remember, he's a new partner for one thing. Always communicate and let them know what your triggers are. And you can say, that bothers me. I don't do that or don't say that. Communication is very, very important in any relationship, because with communication comes mutual respect. And that's important. He or she respecting your wishes, you respecting hers or his wishes. It's very important that we do communicate our wants and our needs, as well as things that bother us, our fears, how this makes us feel, our emotions, fears, happiness, all of those things, because in the past, we have not been able to express what we think, what we feel. And, we're learning in this new relationship, learn to do that. Again, and if it means getting outside support, outside help, nothing wrong with that. It's a positive thing. It's growth. And you have the right, which could have been something you didn't have in the past. Seek everything. As a warrior, take all the tools you can get. We want to identify what makes us feel safe. We want to tell our new partners things that make us feel good, things that do not feel so good, like, I like it when you hold my hand, but I really don't like it when you put your hand, you take me by the back of the arm and lead me somewhere, because that could, to us, that could feel very controlling. And to your new partner, it's just something that he or she may do. It's about letting the people close to us know, again, what makes us feel safe, what feels right, and then what doesn't feel. And if you would like, you could let them know why. I don't like this because this is what happened, and this is how it made me feel. Just let people know. They're not going to know. The person in your life, the new person, isn't going to know. If we don't express what makes us feel safe, they're not going to know. They don't know our triggers. Remember, they don't know our past and our history. And it's all about communication. And if you can figure out what makes you feel safe and you can express that, that's going to give you even more power over your life and over you as a person. In developing our new relationship and how to move forward from an abusive history, you have to know and love yourself and give yourself the things that you deserve. Know that you deserve to be treated right. You deserve to be able to develop your own relationships. Identify the things that you want in a relationship, that you need in a relationship, as well as the things that you don't want and that you don't need. And respect yourself. Know that trust that gut. If you see something that's not right, you have a certain feeling that something's happening that is not right, trust yourself. Love yourself. Know that the gut, and I say that all the time. Trust your gut. If it doesn't feel right, check it out. Don't move so fast. Give yourself time to enjoy you and to pamper yourself and to know your own identity, know who you are, and then, the person you're bringing into your life. And that's exactly what it is. A person you are bringing into your life and who you are. To kind of round all of this out, I would say be very cautious not to sabotage a new relationship. And really, that's the whole thing of what we've been talking about. Learning your triggers, identifying things, open communication. Because in the beginning of a relationship, don't ignore the red flags. Talk about them. Talk to someone else about them. Talk to your new partner about them. Don't ignore your triggers. Don't ignore your thoughts and feelings of the way a relationship is going, your new relationship. Nurture it, of course. But if there's things happening and you've got that fear popping up, look at it. Think about it. Talk to someone about it. Talk to your new partner or the new person in your life. Figure things out. Absolutely don't ignore them, and don't sabotage. Don't see things that aren't there. And that's why I say look at them. Because if we're hiding them or we're ignoring them, then that could be part of sabotaging a new relationship. Oh, this is what's happened in the past. I'm done. I'm not going to do it. That if you like the people that you're bringing into your life, well, they're worth it. You're worth it. You're worth new. You're worth having a healthy relationship. And, again, there's nothing wrong with talking to someone you trust about these things. There's nothing wrong with talking to a counselor. If you need or want to talk to someone, feel absolutely free to call away and ask to speak to a counselor.